This is part B of the Kudilar television channel, broadcasting on the internet under the banner of the Baby Angel Geronimo editions, also known as Baby Angel Geronimo Manifesto editions. This is part B, timed at 1100 hours GMT, London, UK within quotation marks, Sunday the 19th of May. Today's Sunday Times has got the magazine that comes with the Sunday Times, carry the annual reach list, which is trailed prominently on the front page. And the trailer says who is up, who is down, and how they make their money. That's a lie. That is a pack of lies. This is not possible. Making money and becoming billionaires is not done to a textbook program. It is from A to Z, a robbery, a theft, a stealing enterprise, everywhere, every time. Corruption to the core. And the corruption in British society, as perpetrated by the so-called National Health Service, is the tainted blood. And the tainted blood is the worst scandal of my lifetime. It's time for justice, vows Hunt. Jeremy Hunt is a cunt. He's a lying cunt. He is tainted, severely tainted for tainting the NHS, the idea of the National Health Service. So that is a lie, and we shall be getting back to that later in this particular edition, if the technology, the IT, doesn't interfere. There's another item on the front page of the Sunday Times. Second-class post could be cut in half after buyout, which means that the Royal Mail, as part of the continuing evidence of the unfitness for purpose of British business and institutions, so-called, is up for sale. And whoever is going to buy it is bound to be another criminal. And there is a belated piece on page 2 of the same Sunday Times, which is headed, True Death Toll in Channel Island, Nazi labor camps to be revealed. The Nazis ran a labor camp in the island called Channel Islands. And the evidence is going to be revealed for the first time. There's a piece by Keir Starmer, the frontier of the program that is committing political murder of the Labour Party. Now, Keir Starmer is the criminal who was oozing with agreement with the criminals at DEFRA and the criminal Boris Johnson. When he was asked in 2021 to comment on the program of harassment and plot against the baby angel Geronimo. The criminal Starmer said that he agreed with the program that was being perpetrated against the innocent, perfectly healthy baby angel Geronimo. Contrast that with Keir Starmer being given a platform in the Sunday Times talking about the tainted blood. And the heading is, "This is a mark of shame. It's our duty to erase it." Now, the criminal, far from using shame to describe the DEFRA attacks on baby angel Geronimo in 2021, when he willingly endorsed the agenda being fronted by the evilness congenital liar Boris Johnson, the DEFRA agenda against baby angel Geronimo was endorsed by the criminal Keir Starmer. But he is saying that the tainted blood scandal is a shame. Our shame, he's saying collectively, for the whole of the UK. And there is a bigger piece on the same page 5 of the Sunday Times, Sunday 19th of May 2024. Sunday 19th of May 2024, in which Jeremy Hunt, the Hunt, who was allowed to remain in post at the expense of the National Health Service for 6 years, he says, and it's an assumed quote, attributing to him, "I promised dying blood victim justice." It's the saddest thing, he is not here to see it. No such words used by any of the criminals against the perfectly healthy baby angel Geronimo, who was targeted by the criminals, and they pursued relentlessly despite the evidence, despite absolutely consistent evidence that came from all possible sources. They pursued the campaign of vilification against baby angel Geronimo. Now the tainted blood scandal is being also used as the topic for the opportunist, ingratiator criminal, mental slave, Matthew Said, who says, "Villainy may bring to mind a man stroking a white cat. A far greater danger is untouchable institutions." Untouchable institutions, you fucking liar. Untouchable parts of the government departments. Untouchable, uncivil, disservice perpetrators like Christian evilness, Middlemas, the depraved DEFRA, thief vet. Matthew Said didn't bother to write even one paragraph against the injustice being done against the baby angel Geronimo by the DEFRA, by Boris Johnson, and by his fellow propagandists employed by the likes of Dr. Digger Murdoch. Matthewside's piece today is headed "The Tainted Blood Scandal Was Tragic." Now wait for it. But what came next is a nightmare. Now they are absolutely running out of adjectives. They are running out of adjectives to use about their opinion on the tainted blood. In their bid to outdo their rivals, as the most concerned and outraged of observers in Fleet Street, and supposedly they're doing this for justice for the victims of the tainted blood. While they all ignored and are still continuing to ignore the way that Helen MacDonald in South Gloucestershire was targeted and attacked and vilified and treated in a way that she felt was torture. For the perfect, legitimate, moral, ethical stand that she took, she continues to take in defending the innocent baby angel Geronimo. As Matthewside and the cartoon in the Sunday Times is about tainted blood, but it's putting Rishi Sunak's plight, careerist plight, in context. It's saying, we have never had it so good. And the reach list, it's not the tainted blood, it's the reach list where Rishi Sunak is featuring as the richest of the rich. In the cartoon version of the Sunday Times reach list edition of the magazine. And he's saying, we have never had it so good. Now we shall come back to the obscenity of the rich. We go back to Camilla Long. Now Camilla Long is forever on the record as having offered her breasts instead of her vagina to be used at the entrance to her body for sex by Gary Lineker, who dismissed her offer. But Camilla Long is always on the lookout, looking for an excuse to use sex and the breasts and the body in her so-called column. And today she is talking about Ozempic Sharon Osbourne and post-traumatic stress syndrome, PTSD. The side piece is about ancient Rome, and it says ancient Rome with topless clubs, an offer I can't refuse. I mean, she's fantasizing about taking off her clothes and offering her tops for sexual gratification. So she's talking about Ozempic and everything else that goes with that corruption. The editorial opinion of the Sunday Times today headed, "The Rich List shows why Britain needs entrepreneurs." But it doesn't. The opposite is the case. What the Rich List shows is that there shouldn't be any rich, not to the obscene extent that the Sunday Times is celebrating. There should be basic, absolutely basic, universally judged, objectively judged and measured access to basic services and facilities and means for life for everyone. And the second editorial says, with Putin resurgent, West must hold firm on Ukraine. And it ends, if the West slackens in its resolve, Russia and China will push back harder against what they described last week as the so-called dual containment of our countries. There is another obscenity in the Sunday Times where one of the most corrupt individuals given a platform by the BBC for far too long, Justin Webb, is repeating the liars' propaganda for Donald Trump. The liar's propaganda for Donald Trump concerning the 5th of November 2024 scheduled USA presidential election. That propaganda has been absolutely most aggressively promoted in the USA and copied in the United Kingdom and the rest of the West. What I have considered to be the most important, significant political participant in the USA in the last 10 years, Stormy Daniels. Stormy Daniels is the target of Justin Webb's undermining attack on the evidence. The evidence that actually is the center of the multiple counts of charges brought against the criminal, the born criminal Donald Trump. And I have said that Stormy Daniels has long passed the line where any senator, any other politician in the USA could begin to match her contribution. The US judiciary, until this particular court case in Manhattan, the USA judiciary, the Supreme Court in particular and included, the USA media, the USA politicians at every level have individually and collectively failed to come anywhere near creating the impact, making the case, arguing the evidence that Stormy Daniels has done for now 8 years. Since 2016, when she was threatened, intimidated by Trump's thuggish organization into accepting that harsh money, $135,000, paid by Trump, paid on behalf of Trump by Michael Cohen. It is noticeable that all the media, including Justin Webb, are attacking Stormy Daniels for giving the evidence at all. They're attacking her further for giving the evidence despite the fact that she has been condemned for going into so much details. What they're trying to do there, complaining about her giving details, and in the words of Justin Webb, the criminal, gory details, what she's doing is hammering home the truth against the liar Trump, denying that he ever had sex with her. It was that having sex with her that Trump wanted the public in the USA in 2016, before the election, not to notice, not to know, not to be aware of, not to be made aware of. Whatever the length of time that the act of sex lasted, if it was a singular act, whatever the length of time, however minor the described genitalia of the liar criminal Trump are, it doesn't matter. If it lasted even a nanosecond, Stormy Daniels' testimony has lasted the equivalent of several centuries, because Stormy Daniels' testimony will outlast all the detractors, all her critics, all the thugs' agents. So she is risen way above the sex act, and she has become truly the stateswoman. We shall continue on all of these in the next editions.